The first person we're going to think about today is a man called Augustine. He lived a very long time ago. Let's go to the little video that I made back in the autumn to find out more about our first person, Augustine. I have a question for you this morning. Do you like pears? Well, Augustine didn't like pears, at least not the pears that he stole. One night, Augustine and a group of friends crept along to a pear tree that wasn't theirs. And they shook the branches and they shook the tree, and loads of the pears fell down, and they gathered up as many as they possibly could and then took them away. Do you know what they did with the pears? They threw them to some pigs. They didn't want to eat the pears. They didn't steal because they wanted the pears, although that would have been naughty. They stole simply because they loved doing bad things. I don't know if Augustine's mum Monica ever found out about the pears, but she did know that Augustine was often very, very naughty. Not just as a boy and a teenager, but as an adult as well. And this made Monica very sad. It also made her pray even harder for her son Augustine. Now, Augustine lived 1600 years ago in what we now call Algeria in northern Africa. And why are we still talking about Augustine and his pears? Well, he became one of the most famous and most important Bible teachers of all time ever. In fact, people are still reading what he wrote 1600 years ago. He became a Christian. Monica's prayers were answered. Before he became a Christian, though, one day he was so worked up inside and he was crying. He went outside and sat under a tree, not a pear tree, a fig tree this time. And he was feeling so awful. And then he heard a voice, a child's voice, saying, "Pick it up and read it." Pick it up and read it. It came again and again. Pick it up and read it. Augustine looked around and saw that one of his friends had left a Bible under the fig tree. So Augustine, hearing the voice, "Pick it up and read it," opened up the Bible at random and decided that he would just read whichever part his eyes saw first. And God spoke to him exactly what he needed to know. All the questions that were in his mind, God answered that as he read the verse that he found. He became a Christian that day. He found that happiness was not in doing bad things. He also found that just trying really hard to be good didn't make him happy either. True happiness was found only through being God's friend. And then he went on to do so much teaching and helping other Christians. Praise God that Monica prayed for Augustine and Augustine's life was changed around. And do you know, if God can change Augustine's life around, he can change anyone's life. Wow, wasn't it amazing how God turned Augustine's life around completely and how he used the brains that God had given him to serve God by writing all of those amazing books and helping Bible teachers today think through all these issues and teach the Bible. Wow. We are going to think about someone else now who was so different to Augustine and yet someone who God used as well. But hang on, let's sing first, and then we will dive in to the video I did about a lady called Gladys Aylward.